With e-bikes getting bigger and heavier, it's really important to have a bike rack that can reliably carry these bikes since they are so heavy. The issue is that e-bike racks that are sturdy enough to handle these really heavy e-bikes tend to be super expensive. Which is why in this video, I'm checking out the Young Electric 2-tray e-bike hitch-mounted bike rack that I picked up from outfitter.com to see if it is able to reliably carry 2 e-bikes while also being cheaper than the competition. I'm going to go over the features of this rack, check out its compatibility with a bunch of different types of bikes, see how the rack works in the real world, and review the optional light set accessory. So let's get to it. So the rack does come in a pretty heavy box. So be careful in moving, and if it's too heavy for you, be sure to have someone help you move it. So the whole kit comes with 2 wheel trays, 2 fat tire wheel holders, 2 connecting arms, the base that goes into the hitch, the folding mechanism, the bike tie-down ratchets, the ramp, and all the bolts. And in order to assemble, you need an adjustable wrench, a 19mm wrench, a 13mm wrench, and a 24mm wrench, which I didn't have, so I used another adjustable wrench and a 4mm hex wrench. And the bad part being is that the tools actually don't come with the rack, so you have to supply your own. But if you don't have the 13 or 19mm wrenches, don't worry. You really just don't need 2 adjustable wrenches. The first step is to attach the base to the folding mechanism. Something to make sure is that the handle's facing down. Insert the bolt and tighten it until it's really tight. We don't want this bolt coming undone while we're on the highway with the bikes on the rack. The next step is attaching the wheel holder to the trays. Just be sure to put them on the correct way. Remove the 2 side bolts on the tray, place the holder on the tray, and reinstall the bolts removed. On top, there's a sliding nut. Adjust it so you can tighten down the top bolt, then tighten down both of the side bolts. Now repeat the whole process for the second wheel tray. So now that we've attached the wheel holders to the trays, now we're gonna attach them to the base. So for this, you wanna take this particular bolt, which there's 2 of them, and insert both underneath the trays on the rail system. Now you line them up to the corresponding holes and attach the washer and nut. Slide them to the stop point and tighten them down. The next step is attach the arms that actually holds the bikes. First, remove the end bolt, the metal lock washer, and then one of the plastic washers. Insert the arm, first put on the plastic washer, then put the metal lock washer, insert the bolt, then tighten down, and repeat for the other side. Next is installing the bike ratchet system by loosening them counterclockwise, putting them over the arm, and then tightening down clockwise. And last is inserting the rack into your hitch. And then you tighten down the bolt, and then insert the pin. So if you only bought the rack, that's the last step of the installation. But I also have the optional brake light kit, which comes with 2 lights, a wiring harness, bolts, and plastic clips. The first step is to remove the plastic end cap with a 3mm hex. Then you take this bolt and put it on the sliding rail. Then reinstall the plastic end cap and reinstall the 3mm bolt. Now fold up the rack and install the left light over the bolt that we just installed in the previous step. Put on the nut and tighten down. For the right light, there are 2 holes on the wheel holder, which match up to the right light. Insert the bolts, put on the nuts, and tighten down. Next is installing these little plastic clips, which act as guides for the wiring. All you have to do is clip them into the holes on the rack. The next step is to plug in the harness to the lights, which are conveniently labeled L for the left light and R for the right light. Now you want to put the wires into the plastic clips, plug the harness into your car's wiring harness, and then check to make sure that all the lights work. So the rack's not that hard to build. Just make sure to take your time, and it takes about 30 minutes or so. So the frame of the rack is actually made of steel, while the trays are made of aluminum. The rack is pretty well made with clean welds throughout, and it feels pretty high quality. The rack is a hitch mount type, and it's only compatible with a 2-inch receiver. So if you only have a 1.25-inch receiver, unfortunately, you're out of luck. The rack weighs 50.7 pounds and has a load capacity of 200 pounds. The adjustable wheel tray uses a quick release design that's super easy to use and actually works pretty well. The rack is foldable to reduce its footprint when not in use. There's also this nifty easy fold handle to make folding easier. It also comes with a locking pin for safety. It also has a tilt function so you can access the back of your vehicle without having to move your bikes. The rack fits a max wheel width of 5 inches, and it comes with a ramp to make loading your bike easier, and it's also compatible with RVs. So the rack is 57.5 inches long, 43.5 inches tall, and has a width of 44.6 inches. The rack is also designed to fit bikes with wheelbases up to 50 inches, so it should be able to fit most bikes. The design has the mounting arms on the outer sides of the rack, which has the benefit of only needing to raise one arm if you only have one bike. And if the ratchet were to fail, the bike falls into the rack as opposed to over the edge and off of the rack. So like I mentioned before, the rack does have some optional accessories, and the one I chose was the brake light kit, which should be super helpful since when having bikes loaded up in a bike rack, sometimes it's really hard for people behind you to see your taillights. So the lights are equipped with 10 high-intensity LEDs and have all-weather protection. and the light measures 8.4 inches long, with the actual light being 6.3 inches. And what I really like about this kit is it's not some universal kit, it's actually designed for the rack. And just so you saw it during installation, it's super easy to install with no drilling required. And just so you can see the difference, here's what the rear taillights look like when I have massive bikes on the bike rack. As you can see, you can barely see the taillights, but then I plugged in the optional taillights and the difference is massive. And it's much safer when driving both for you and the person driving behind you. And to load a bike is super easy. You unfold the ramp, insert into the ramp holes, and push the bike up. You then adjust the wheel bump stoppers and clamp down to the bike, and then tie down both wheels. As you can see, there's no movement when it is clamped down. And to unload the bike, all you have to do is undo the wheel tie down, undo the clamp, lower the bar, and then you push the bike backwards using the bike ramp. So one thing that I did notice is that it's easier to load the bike when the arm is in the up position when pushing the bike up. But then you have to lean the bike inwards to get the parts of the bike past the arm. You can keep the arm down as well, but you have to make sure that the arm is above the ramp. And when you raise the arm, you also have to lean the bike in again so that the arm clears some of the parts. But my preferred method to load the bike is to remove the clamp, keep the arm in the low position, and once the bike is loaded, raise the arm, install the clamp, and then tie down the bike. And the rack still works exactly the same way. I just prefer this method because to me it's a little bit easier. And probably the coolest thing about this bike rack is the adjustability, which increases the compatibility of bikes you can actually use with the rack. This is because it has such a big wheel tray, so you can fit bikes with both small and big wheels. It also has an adjustable tray length, so you can fit a lot of e-bikes regardless of their wheelbase. So I tried a ton of different bikes on this bike rack, and I can confirm that the following bikes do fit and can be tied down securely. A men's mountain bike, an electric mountain bike, a step-through fat bike, a kid's mountain bike, a folding step-through e-bike, a road bike, a big fat tire e-bike, and a moped style e-bike. And with the exception you might have an e-bike with a super weird frame, the only bikes that won't fit that I'm aware of are trikes and bikes with wheelbases greater than 50 inches, like cargo bikes. So for all the testing I did on the bike rack, I did all the testing with 2 bikes that had a total combined weight of 185 pounds. So that was pushing the weight limits of the rack. So the first test is how easy it is to load 2 bikes. So for this, I loaded the first bike on the tray closest to the car and I strapped it down. Then I pushed the next bike onto the rack, lifted the arm, installed the clamp, and then strapped down the wheels. So what I really like about this design is that the mounting arms are on the outside of the rack. So it keeps the bike inside the rack area if there were to be a catastrophic failure. And if the seat clamp were to fail, or the user didn't strap on the clamp correctly. I mean, mind you, it's highly unlikely something that would ever happen, but it's better be safe than sorry. So the next thing I want to see is how it performed when it was loaded down with 2 bikes when you drive it down the road. So I took the rack loaded with 2 e-bikes that weighed a combined 185 pounds down 2-lane back roads where there's some tighter turns. Now the good part is there's minimal movement and swaying on the rack, and the bikes were pretty secure. I've had a couple $100 bike racks in the past, and they would sway a lot and would be very unnerving. But this rack doesn't have any issues at all. It's solid with minimal sway, even going faster on the tight turns. So on the Outfitter website, the rack is advertised as keeping your bike safe and secure off-road. So the only way to test this was to take it to a small section where there were some small bumps to mimic off-roading. As you can see, the bikes are super secure even with the big bump. While testing, it had been raining a lot since it's winter time, so I kept this test at a minimum so I didn't destroy the dirt. So as a whole, I was really impressed with this bike rack. The bike rack is reasonably priced and is very user-friendly. I'm also a really big fan of the design of the connecting arm being on the outside of the rack. It has the advantage of being able to keep the arm down while pushing the bike up if you remove the clamp, and also keeps the bike from falling off the rack in the unlikely chance that the clamp fails or the owner forgets to put it on. Another huge plus is that this rack can be used with almost any bike on the market with the exception of trikes and cargo bikes. And the last thing that I really like that I think is a must are the optional taillights. They work extremely well, and I love how they're integrated into the rack. They're super easy to install, and if you plan on having 2 bikes, I highly recommend them. But no product is perfect, and there are a couple things that I'm not a big fan of. So even though I like the design of the arm being on the outside, the negative is when the arms are down, it makes the rack very big and wide. In fact, when folded up, the rack is slightly wider than my Jeep. And the last negative is actually the bike ramp, which I really like. The issue is there's nowhere to actually mount the bike ramp on the actual rack itself. You have to store it inside your car. Now this might seem kind of small, but if your bike is muddy when you're loading it, then the ramp would be muddy as well, meaning that now you have to store a dirty ramp in the back of your car. But as a whole, I think this ramp is a great buy and worth your money if you're looking for a bike rack that fits heavy e-bikes and has a ton of compatibilities with a lot of e-bikes. But if you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching and have a great one.